That's called suspense. That feeling that you're feeling for building suspense. Suspense is two things we should not be shutting out your eye. Kayla, those are disruptions. Voices are up. Voices are up. Suspense can be mysterious and it can be anticipatory. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know something's going to happen. That's what suspense is. So I want us to think through that lens while we're reading. Think about suspense. When am I feeling suspense? When am I feeling that I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that something's going to happen? So as always with DC Davis, I know I can just stand right by the whiteboard while I do this, so I can tally points. If you are not on page 45, go ahead and get there. You'll know you're on the right page when it says Chapter 8, New Recruits. Bell is there. Jeremiah's there. Daniel, let's get there. Jason's there. We're all going to be ready to go, ready to be called on in 5 seconds for your off task. Voices are off. Page there, silent. Guards are silent. Merciful's there, silent. Page 45. Remember, by calling you, you're reading just one sentence and reporting a point on the board. When you're ready. Meet and kill. Okay. Chapter 8. New recruits. Meanwhile, the interviews to find the first group of Navajos for special duty were going on. 2 weeks passed before they had finally chosen all of the men they wanted for that first group. 29 in all. Each man was physically examined at Fort Defiance Public Health Service and carefully questioned to be sure he was really able to speak both Navajo and English fluently. Each man's age was checked too. Amari, next sentence.
No one over.
You got it?
No one over.
Now, right now. But one of those chosen, Carl Gorman, Caleb, you next, was actually 35. You're next to read. Although he's listed his age as 32. Another man, William Yazzie, was only 16. But he said he was a year older. Caleb, next sentence. Early on the morning of May 4th, 1942, those 29 men of what would be the first all-Navajo platoon, the 382nd, boarded a bus at Fort Defiance. Some of their friends and families watched as this bus headed southeast in the direction of Tsuutsit, Mount Taylor, the sacred peak that marks the southern boundary of Dinétah. Then they were gone, vanished, as if they had fallen off the face of the earth, for no word was heard from them. Not a single letter was received by any of their families who, hey, Jeremiah, let's go for a crispier page turn next time we do it. Had been left behind. A month passed, and then another month. Now their families back home were getting worried. Some knew a little bit about the armed forces from having served in World War I. After 6 weeks of boot camp, new recruits are always given a 10-day pass. But not one of those 29 men came home on leave, and there was still no letters. Wilsey Bitsy's father was a school teacher. Davion, next up. Carl Gorman's father was influential in politics of our tribe and a successful businessman. Both Mr. Bitsy and Mr. Gorman decided to do something. They wrote directly to the Marines and complained to the Indian agent. They expected answers, but when those answers came, they were not very satisfactory. All they were told was that their sons were doing well, but they were on special duty and could not communicate with anyone. After a while, when no one had heard anything from those first 29 Navajos, people began making jokes about what must have happened to them. One joke was that the white men had eaten them. When someone said that to me, knowing how much I still wanted to be a Marine myself, I had an answer for them. Well, I said, I've always wanted to see what it would be like in a Billy Ghana kitchen. Those jokes finally stopped 4 months later when one of those 29 men suddenly reappeared in Fort Defiance. Bella, next sentence. Somebody else around? We're at the bottom of page 46, let's get there.
When he tell us he had simply known him as Johnny,
Manuelito. Thank you. He had graduated from Navajo High School several years before and was still remembered there as a serious and hardworking student. Now he was a different man. He was Corporal Johnny Manuelito of the 382nd, and he wore the bright, impressive uniform of a U.S. Marine.